Everybody, Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. And today's video is a little late. It's 3 in the afternoon on Memorial Day weekend here in the United States. And we just got done, Ben and I going for a run and a bike ride on the Mount Baker Trail here. Great little run. And we spent the whole morning watching the Indianapolis 500, the motorsports car race. And it was amazing. And it reminded me of something back when I was more of a serious athlete. And the guy that got second, his interview was pretty strong. Alexander Rossi, he won the 100th Indianapolis 500, but this was the 103rd. And he, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, but he got second. It was a very, very close race after 500 miles of racing. Really, really good. And you can see when you look at these high level athletes and people that do big things like that in the sporting world, their single-minded focus, and it reminded me of when I was a more serious runner. I was never at the top of the top, but I was pretty darn serious about it, 70 to 100 miles a week and running races. And I remember if I ran, and I ran most days, if I ran, then anything else in the day didn't matter. It was a successful day. And if I didn't get my run in, no matter how much I got done in the rest of the world, the rest of my stuff, it was an unsuccessful day. So everything for me revolved around running. And I remember my old girlfriend a long time ago in physical therapy school was like, Ralph, you and Bridget, this other person that was a Division I athlete at BYU, she was a swimmer. And she goes, you and Bridget are different. You guys are like, you're not just physical therapy students, or you guys are athletes. You're a runner, and she's a swimmer. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like when you have that single-minded focus, it can be a really easy way to live a life, right? Because you have one thing to do. And so when you think of the cost of doing something else, it's too high. It's called opportunity cost. The other opportunities you have, the cost is too high because it takes away from your sport. And I can just imagine Alexander Rossi, he doesn't have much time for other stuff besides racing. You could hear it in the way he talked about his racing and his life. And that's how it was for me. I remember one time I was, my friend Ben and my friend Martin, we all lived in a little house in San Diego, and all we did was run, and we did our jobs and stuff, but what we were was runners. And one time it was a beautiful day, and we went out to the tide pools and spent an afternoon between our two runs, morning run, evening run, and beautiful day at the low tide. And we looked at all sorts of sea creatures, and it was a really low key walk around and stuff. And my friend Ben said, he was kind of like not happy about it. He said, this was just a diversion, because we could have been resting for our second run. And so when you have that kind of focus, it's very easy to think of the opportunity costs, like this other opportunity to go tide pooling or to do this or to do that. It's too high because we have this focus for this thing. But when we're going through life, then there's other stuff to do. You grow up, and you've got other responsibilities and family and a business or work or other things that you do. But it's still kind of cool to think of opportunity cost, because it's so easy to just not get stuff done. And so of course, you want to not do just stuff that's mindless. If you just check Facebook all day long and it doesn't really get you ahead, or you just play some little free cell game on your phone or some video game, or, that can just drive you mad. But even other stuff that could be useful, there's this idea of opportunity cost. And so one thing that I like to do that you might think about incorporating into your life if you want is to think about all the things you want to accomplish. You could even put them into headings, right? Like different things for the family, for your business, for your self-growth, for all those kind of things, and then get your plan, right? And one of my coaches used to say he would put big green dots by the stuff that was vitally important, the stuff that would really move the needle, whether it's for your business or for your life, your health, but just put big green dots by those. and red dots by the stuff that didn't really get you down the road farther. And then he would do the big green dots. And he would either find other people to do the other dots, the red dots, or they just wouldn't get done. And I think it's a kind of useful thing to do to figure out what's really important, whether you're an athlete or not, if you've got a family or a business or something you really want to get done, a project, what are the vital things to get done so that, at least at the end of the day, you've got those done. And the ones that maybe are less vital, you know it, so that you don't get caught like I do sometimes. You have a whole day off and you've got a whole project to do, but you wake up and then you have your coffee and then you read the paper and then you check Facebook and then maybe you do the laundry. And one of my friends who's a writer says that writers, one of the jokes is when you need to do your writing, when you need your novel written, it's you have the cleanest house in the world, because you do the laundry and you clean the house and you'll do anything except the thing that moves the needle. So it's a kind of cool thing. If you're a day trader, what do you need to do to get ready for your day? If you're some sort of health coach, what are the things you need to do for yourself and then for your clients? If you're working with your family, what are the things that are important? And so for me today, it's Sunday, and the opportunity cost for me today was the opportunity was to hang out with my boy Ben and watch the Indy 500, and then to go for a run while he rode his bike. And so if I would have done other stuff, business stuff, I would have missed out on that. So it's kind of a cool thing to think about, like what are your things you really want to do, and putting some green dots by those guys. And then whenever anything else comes up, because there's always opportunities, right? And just kind of weighing it against that, like what is the cost of doing that? If I don't do that, what do I get to do? And if I do that, what do I not get to do? So just an idea, something to run by on this Sunday. It's kind of a funny thing to do on a Sunday because we're all supposed to be taking it easy and relaxing today. I think tomorrow's video is going to be a more magical way to get stuff done. It's one of my magic techniques to get a lot of stuff done in a very short amount of time. So I think that's the way it's going to go, but we'll see what shows up tomorrow. And for now, I hope you all are enjoying a great Sunday, and I will see you all later. Let's get out there and live. Let's really live.